Okay, it appears we are go. Hello, and welcome to Azure Striker Gunvolt 2, a lovely Mega Man Zero style game made by the people at Inti Creates that not enough of you have played. I guess we're all ready to go. Are you ready, TG?
I am ready, but before we go, there's one thing I want to point out to everybody.
What's that?
We just crossed the $14,000 mark.
Oh my god, and I haven't even started yet.
Nope, and that was done by thanks to a $300 donation from Mr. Cab 55 saying, "Save the kids, eat the bananas."
I just ate a banana before we started. Okay. All right. Time is going to start as soon as I hit yes here. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. There's a lot to explain, not a lot of time to do it, and I don't feel like repeating myself. We're about to be introduced to our main character, Gunvolt. He has gun and he has volt. I know, amazing. I said this was a Mega Man style game, but everything's a little weird. He has his gun, obviously, but the gun itself does scratch damage. It does peanut damage. It doesn't do much at all. What he does is that it shoots lightning rods that you then zap people with that blue flash field there, and that's what actually does the damage. Oh god, I've been hurt. Flash field also has the added effect of slowing his fall speed because, I guess, magnets? We're just blitzing through this intro level here. The other thing with Gunvolt is the small bit of nuance to his movement. He has a dash, as you would expect. He's like a Mega Man Zero, but blue. But the way the dash works is kind of weird. He has a brief burst of his top speed at the very, very start of the dash, which then falls off a bit as he runs. So dash jumping is the optimal form of movement because that momentum is conserved when you jump. That's my robot butterfly hologram waifu. She sings J-pop, and in the intro level she gives me this crazy power-up that's infinite EP, which is the resource I use for my flash field, and god, I need to stop running into drones. I'm trying to kill drones for reasons of things that'll happen later. Wow, this level really does throw a lot at you. Yeah, the EP is used for both my flash field, which is, you know, my main source of dealing damage, and for prevasion, which, this is anime. Prevasion lets me just run through enemies that ignore damage as long as I have the EP to spare, and as long as I'm not using flash field. It's very useful for getting through levels, but I do still have to keep an eye on my resources. This is a big mini-boss chicken robot. Oh my god! I swear you're able to one-cycle this god dang robot, but I still have never been able to do it in my whole life. It's just not happened, and it was so close right there. Okay. But that's the main bit of Gunvolt's intro stage down. The category here is called Any % Gunvolt, because there are two characters in this game, Gunvolt, who is blue, and Copen, who is red. You may have heard his name a few times in the preceding Mighty Gunvolt run. Copen is cool because his movement is, well, not just his movement, his entire playstyle is 100% different. Absolutely, completely not like Gunvolt at all. And we're gonna see what that looks like as we go through his intro stage here. Yeah, he runs on these things called bullets, which you'll see in the bottom left corner of the screen for about a second. Cutscene. In order to perform what are called bullet dashes, which are these crazy big aerial dashes that go very fast and cover a lot of distance. We're about to be exploiting that in a minute, as soon as we fly across here, drop to the ground, another cutscene trigger. Right, this next section up here, we're going to be using a little glitch of Copen's called Infinite Bullet Dash. I know, crazy. We drop through here. All right, we completely goof it up because there is a panel under there. We drop to the ground. Come back up through the platform, and then suddenly we have infinite bullets because it's trying to reload me. And I'm perpetually getting more bullets. All right, that is the end of that section. He's going to go through another cutscene trigger, and then suddenly he's bursting through the roof. Wow. That's because of the big robot we're going to fight in a few minutes. Here comes that robot I was just talking about. Oh no! Yeah, Copen is a weird character with a weird form of movement. Those bullets I was mentioning refill whenever he hits a wall or an enemy with his dash, because I don't know how I don't think science has an explanation for that, actually. Gonna crack open the window there, immediately bonk on a wall. All right, we're gonna try and get infinite bullet dash again, which we did. And then we're gonna fight this robot. What's up, robot? Dead robot. Yeah, there's one more bit to the intro, but it's not all that important. If we have any donations or anything that you'd want to say, this would be a good time to do it.
Well, what I want to say is that bid war for save versus kill the animals is heating up. Save the animals currently at $395. Kill the animals currently at $381. You have about an hour and a half left to get those bids in, so let's get that going. And we're less than $1,000 from the 15K, y'all. Can we do that?
Can we do that during my run? It would make me feel really special. All right. There's one more bit to the intro, which is a quick boss fight with Gunvolt against Tenjan, who is another character we're going to be meeting actually later. Right now, he sucks, and we're about to demonstrate why. Perfect. Fight's over. That's it. It's just that easy. I just have I just have like a regular timer without the splits, so now I'm wondering, did I actually hit the timer? I did. Although it is still trying to count my splits. I forgot to account for that. All right, so 4 main levels to do before we get into the Eden stages, which are like the Dr. Wily stages. The enemy is called Eden. They're trying to make a special home for all of the crazy people with superpowers because they were being discriminated against, but also they're just going to kill all the humans, so that's not cool. This is the manor. The manor is actually not all that interesting in and of itself. It's just a lot of stairs. So instead, we're going to talk about the boss at the end, who I affectionately refer to as Blood Lady, because of all the blood. Bosses in Gunvolt follow a specific pattern. Their health bars have 3 segments, and for each segment, they do a phase. They'll start out with a set of mechanics, and then you'll get to phase 2, and then they'll add a few more mechanics onto that. And then for phase 3, they'll do something called a desperation move, or a DM, where kind of like that move you just saw me do there, Astrosphere, they pull up a big splash screen, they say some anime stuff, and then a big attack comes out. Blood Lady is the only one that does not follow this pattern at all. Every single one of her 3 phases are completely and wildly different. Not just in the attack she throws out, but also her defense values for some reason. Her phase 2 has way less defense, so she takes a lot more damage. And her phase 3 has way too much armor. I think someone said it's like a 90% decrease. Also, speaking of Astrosphere, the move you saw me use, God, there's really a lot to talk about. There are gauntlet rooms where you have to fight a bunch of enemies to pass, except a lot of them have a big red warning light that's at the top of the room that's just spinning there and being loud and annoying. So you blow up the warning light and the encounter just ends immediately. So you usually just run to the warning light, tap Astrosphere, and you're out. Speaking of Astrosphere yet again, Gunvolt has a few of these moves that he can perform that are called skills. Those use up, for the most part, the batteries that are in the bottom left corner of the screen. Those are going to be very important later. Just running through most of the rest of the manor. We're actually going to get to the top of these sets of stairs here. We're going to see another one of these big pink glowy doors that designate the end of the section, but we're actually going to run past that. This section back here does take longer. It's not strictly saving any time, but there is a special goodie at the end of it that we're going to be using for the rest of the run. So everyone look forward to that. All right, stop looking forward to it because we're about to grab it. Smash that door out, and then we're going to equip our goodie. This is called Crash Bolt. It is an ability in the same vein as Astrosphere, with the main notable difference is that it's faster, does less damage, and doesn't cost any energy. It costs 0 batteries to use. It just costs a short cooldown. So we're going to be exploiting it mercilessly. Here's Blood Lady. Her first phase is pretty simple. I shouldn't be taking really any hits. It's mostly just dodging her crazy blood and her spinny blades. Now we're going to throw Astrosphere to get a little extra damage on. She does have a lot of armor for her first phase. She does have I just ran out of BP, but it's okay. There's a Crash Bolt. Now she's going to go into her second phase. Her armor drops significantly, but she's got claws. Oh, look at that. She's doing misdirections with her claws. Please don't jump. Okay, she didn't jump. Perfect. Perfect, actually. All right, third phase. This is not fun. This phase actually sucks. Quite a large deal. Because her DM is her entire phase 3. So now she has a crazy red aura that drains all of my EP in one shot if she touches me. And she's bouncing all over the place at crazy high speeds, dropping blood everywhere. It's deeply unpleasant. I find myself feeling quite unclean whenever I fight her. And I'm putting in a complaint to HR. The bright side is that the reason this whole phase does not take absolutely forever is that she is draining her own health whenever she uses her crazy blood power. Like that. So now she's dead. Most of these score screens in between levels do take a while, so if there are any donations to read out, now would be the time.
Well, first, the complaint you filed with HR has been read. It was not properly signed on all 3 copies, so unfortunately, no more action will be taken.
Darn you, triplicates!
In addition, we did get a $15 donation from Bad Scribbler with no comment.
Well, thank you regardless. All right, we are heading into the data facility. This is run by Teseo. He is a hacker. He talks in memes. It's not fun. But his level does have some cool mechanics and movement to it. The first thing you're going to be seeing is screen wrapping. His has intentional screen wrapping from top to bottom and left to right. It's fun. Also, his level is very green because cyberspace? It's not very well defined. Teseo's actually got a fun backstory too, because all of them have like their own reasons for joining Eden. Except for Teseo. Teseo was a moderator on a popular website, saw Eden, hacked into them, and then joined them for the lulz. That's it. That's his story. Alright, there's that intentional screen wrapping. Just going to be hopping across some platforms. Those platforms move if you zap them with the flash field, which we're going to be exploiting right now. More tags make them go up faster. Ow. Aw, man. We are doing great today. Alright. So, one extra fun thing that Crash Bolt does is it's a free instant door knocker. I don't have to shoot those and hurt my hand mashing anymore. Alright, so the next mechanic we're going to be seeing is these red and blue platforms. Red platforms go away when I zap them with the flash field. Blue platforms only exist if there's the flash field on. Ow. This is not a very clean data facility. I am not proud of this, but that's okay. As you can see, having to use the flash field and navigate up these red and blue platforms. I am having to kill stuff. I don't necessarily have to kill anything because Prevasion is kind of doing all the work for me. But we do want to hit level 13. There are levels in this game. We do want to hit level 13 by a certain point in the run because we're going to get something very special. Here's another gauntlet room. There's no red light to instantly end the encounter, but you can just sit in the middle and hit Astrosphere, and it kills all the enemies as they come in, so that's easy. One more mad dash to the boss, and then we'll be done with Data Facility. Fractious Day, Kalukale. Oh, come on, man. I'm supposed to be good at these jumps. What is happening right now?
You're in a marathon.
Oh, yeah, that's why. Oh no, I'm not supposed to land there. I have never landed on that platform before. It's usually just a straight glide all the way to the end there. Oh well, there's the last hexapile, and now we're gonna fight Teseo with a concerning amount of health. He's actually a pretty easy boss. For the most part, he just sits there and target dummies while he throws around mostly unthreatening attacks. So he's gonna teleport to his first spot. Oh, I'm glad I got out of the way there. Hey, please hold still for all this. Ah, I almost one-cycled him. Ah, that's a shame. Whatever, there we go. That's phase 1. For phase 2, he does a little extra attack, and then he goes back to his business. Very good. All right, now he's gonna do a second thing that I don't even know what he does here because that's over. And now he's going to do his DM, which again he just sits there and target dummies for. So I'm just gonna wail on him until he dies. And use Astrosphere for great effect. And then we just sit here and shoot him until he dies. And bada boom, that's Teseo. He's gone to the great source code in the sky. Why did I think of that? If there are any donations to cover for that terrible joke, now is the time.
Unfortunately for you, I don't have any to cover for that absolutely horrible joke, so you're on your own.
Darn. Heck.
But what I will say is, No Kid Hungry's in the chat right now, like the official account for them. So if we could hit that 15K while they are in the chat, that would kind of be awesome.
Don't embarrass me in front of the kids' chat. All right, so this is Frozen City. Frozen City has Yoku blocks in the style of Mega Man Classic, except they're made of ice, so they're even worse. All right. Ah, I missed that jump. That's all right. The thing is, the Yoku blocks are on global cycles, kind of. They're on a cycle depending on when the part of the level they're in became icy, because parts of the level are going to get iced as we go. It's kind of weird. So that first one is very important to hit the early cycles, but the rest of them, the icicles only show up as we get to them, so it's less tight. It's really weird. Anyway, remember Copen? He's back, and he's angry. That's kind of his main defining character trait. He's very angry. We're gonna kill him now. He has prevasion just like me, but if I just run up and put him in my flash field, it doesn't work. And then we're gonna hit him with the old Astrosphere, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be Copen. Say goodbye to Copen, everybody. We're not gonna be seeing him again. Alright, so remember what I was saying about the level getting icy as we go? There it was. It just happened. It's not too threatening in the grand scheme of things, although the great big flash of white does mess with me a lot. It's like a flashbang, but colder. Here's another gauntlet room. There's a big red warning light at the top of the screen. You know what's gonna happen. Alright, one more set of Yoku icicles, I guess. I need a snappier name for them. And we're gonna be out of here and to the boss. We are gonna be trying to get a couple kills as we go, though, because we need every bit of XP we can find.
Can we call them Yosicles?
You know what? I'll take it. Perfect. It's nothing too crazy, but there's always just that little bit of fear that you'll completely biff it. And that slope is always super fun to go down. All right, we're gonna run into Tenjan again. You may remember him from the intro, but he's got something very different about him. See if you can spot it. That's right. His colors are more saturated. That means he's stronger. Let's mess him up again. Alright, that's phase 1. Phase 2, he doesn't do anything particularly different, but he does turn the room icy. That's kind of it. It's actually pretty lame. And that's it, that's phase 2. Now he's going to do his DM, which for some reason, he charges for like a good 10 seconds. Which means I can just kill him before he does anything. This isn't Dragon Ball, dude. You can't just get away with that. And that's Frozen City. All right, next we're going underneath the water to fight bootleg Aquaman. And I do want everyone to pay close attention here. I'm going to point this out to you once this all gets settled. There we go. All right, so I want you to look at the loading screen text here. Stalwart Guardians await in a marine paradise where turbid waters and the unworthy do not dwell. We're going to a sewer. This is a sewer level. A marine paradise. I don't know what Inti creates are smoking. Or what sewers are like in Japan, I assume. I feel like I should know that. Maybe Japanese sewers are tight. But anyway. The sewers can be broken up into two distinct segments. The first one is really, really awkward terrain. Because of the dash jumping that I mentioned back in the intro, it becomes very important to time your dash and jump inputs right when Gunvolt hits the ground. This part of the sewers makes it very annoying to do that. You got boxes and tiny ledges everywhere. You got slopes. It's all a thing. All right. We're going to be fighting a quick mini-boss robot. It's barely worth mentioning. Bada boom, robot's dead. It makes the big explosion as if it was the end of the level, but then you just leave. Alright, so the second half of sewers is water spouts. There are 3 vertical drops while between various platforms and ledges and enemies, while water spouts attempt to push you back up. And then they cause lots of time loss if you get caught in them, and it's generally very sad. So we're gonna try not to get hit by those. That's 1 out of 3. They do appropriately get harder as you go. There's also these big splooshes of water that try to hit you, but then we just pervade through them, so they're not a problem. All right, water spout section numero 2. All right, we dip into that one so that we drop down and avoid those. All right, we are going to take a quick break. This is the hardest room in the game, immediately succeeded by the best character in the game. All right, the room's over. They stick the warning light right below where you start. Anyway, everyone say hi to my favorite enemy in the game, Stanley. This is Stan, everybody. He is just doing his job, but he is the strongest enemy in the game because he survived that warning light detonating. So we stand Stan in this house. Anyway, third water spouts. This is the hardest one. Okay, there we go. Hard part over. It's deceptive looking, but that little dip from right to center is really tight to do quickly. So I'm very glad I managed to hit all 3 during a marathon. It makes up for the data facility going wrong. All right, just this little bit here, and that's the level. Now we're gonna run into Waterboy. His name is Miles. He's Waterboy to me, though. This guy's kind of a scrub. We're gonna mop him up quickly. I hope you like puns.
I do. I told them to donate to get me to stop making them.
Crush bolt him as he goes by. A mechanic that hasn't actually been that I haven't actually shown off because I haven't, you know, goofed up in it yet. Gunvolt is electricity based. Miles is water. If I try to use any of my powers while I'm submerged in water, or if I get hit by these water lasers, Ow. It drains my entire EP bar because he makes me sad. I just made a mistake. Oh no. I might be able to salvage this. Hold on. Never mind. Okay, so I'm supposed to be hitting a DM skip here before he goes into this thing for Aqua Avatar, but I completely misjudged how much health he has left. And now we get to sit through this. This is a marathon run. Oh, and I missed the crash bolt there. That's fine. Gonna hit Astrosphere there, and he's going to die. We'll get a chance to do that again later, so don't worry. I hope some donations have come in because we're about to hit another splash screen.
Well, we did have one donation come in, and as I said, I did tell people in chat that if they wanted to stop hearing the bad jokes, at least for me, to donate and give me things to read. And we do have someone calling me out. I have a $10 donation from Prim calling me out completely saying, please, if TGE is going to talk, can we make it where it isn't him making bad jokes? Get those donations in. We're so close. Also, TGE, knock knock. No, it's not pointless. Kill the animals.
Is this a bad time to say I like saving the animals? Anyway.
Saving the animals is winning by $4 right now.
Nice. All right, so here's the worst boss in the game. I hate this person. I hate their guts. Their main problem is that they have this attack where they kick the crystal, and then they will wander off screen. They do this a lot. Even their DM has them both wander off screen and make me use up an Astrosphere in order to get through it optimally. I do not like this person. They make me upset. But it's okay. We're gonna try and power through this as quickly as possible. Also, he says, I'm like almost 100% certain he's saying up yours when he activates Poetry Slam. So he's just a delightful person to hang around. All right, he's wandering off screen again. Oh yeah, he can decide if he wants to do Poetry Slam multiple times. So let's hope he doesn't. There you go. All right, back to the positivity. God, I hate that person. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I know their name, but they don't deserve a name. Okay, so after that, we're going to be heading into Garden 1, the first endgame level. Brain is currently train wrecking in on itself. That's cool. This is going to be the level where there's some neat movement, but more importantly, we're going to be showing off the only real skip, or not skip. Well, we do skip a portion, but this is the only glitch we have found for Gunvolt specifically that actually like does something good and meaningful and optimal. Basically, whenever Gunvolt uses his abilities, be they Astrosphere or Crash Bolt or whatever, there is a 2-frame window after the animation ends where Gunvolt can jump no matter where he is. Thus, you can perform a glitchy double jump. And this is not particularly useful for most of the run because the Crash Bolt animation does still take time that you could be, that you could be using to, you know, jump up to the place you want to go. And because, for the most part, Gunvolt is moving horizontally. But there is one very specific section where you can skip a good 10 to 15 second segment by using the glitched double jump. There is one other place where it's not essential at all, but I'm going to do it anyway for swag points. Which is really the most important thing. And it's coming up right about now. Yeah, there we go. There's the style points. So that's what a glitch double jump looks like. Hopefully, we're going to hit it again in a little bit here. Yeah, there we go. All right. There's a whole section over to the left. We're not going to see it. And that's it. All right, so the next part of Garden 1 is anxiety-inducing because it is the only part of the game where there is a very large abundance of bottomless pits, and the only platforms are conveyor belts. I could die. I could also take hits like that by wasting all of my EP needlessly, so that's fun. All right, here's the main conveyor belt section here. Oh, all right. Had to double back on myself. All right. But we made it. So that's almost flung myself into a pit there. Everything is scary. Okay. Only a minor freak out. That's all right. Here's another gauntlet room that I can't skip. So we just got to kill all the stuff. Nothing too fancy schmancy here, but right after here, we're going to be running into the boss of this level, who is the, they have more of the, what am I trying to say? More of the Mega Man Robot Master style bosses that we've been seeing up until now. There's not, like, crazy giant monster wily bosses in this. That's because Copen has, like, a reverse boss order thing going on with Gunvolt. It's kind of weird. Anyway, this is Hair Lady. I have named her thus because of all the hair. Please do not let me have children. Alright, she is nothing too much to write home about. I almost got that skip. Alright, there we go. Alright, now she's gonna do her DM where she floats at the top of the screen and tries to grab me with her weird hair hands? It's kind of weird when you think about it, but if I get grabbed by those, it's generally a bad time, so we're gonna try and kill her. Before that, I have been grabbed. I fumbled my Astrosphere like a real winner. Okay, she's dead now. Man, this run is going great. It's alright, could be worse. Alright, next is Garden 2, which is honestly not my favorite level. Like a lot of the other levels, it can be broken up into two distinct sections. The first section is doors. You may have seen those doors in the intro section. But with one mind-blowing twist in that the doors require 2 locks. Let's shoot 2 locks. Fun. So we're going to run into that now. And while I struggle through this, probably if there's any donations to cover my pain.
Well, if you would like to cover the pain, chat, you can absolutely get some more donations in. I do have a $5 donation from Scrambled Matt wanting us to save the animals, which does put the animals ahead $400 to $391. So I mean, we still have time to get that, but more importantly, we're still close to that 15K. I can taste it.
I would absolutely taste it if I could lick it. Don't think about that too hard.
I'm not.
Alright. I should probably address the thing I've been doing. So you may be thinking, hey, if this is a Mega Man style game, why aren't you getting new sub-weapons whenever you beat the bosses? I am, but they're not like crazy new elemental powers. You don't suddenly see Gunvolt start shooting fire. Instead, he gets different darts for his gun that go in different directions and hit in different ways. Most of them are completely worthless, except for one that you can charge, and when you charge it up all the way, it goes through walls, which is really good for the door section and not much else. Also, my robot holographic butterfly waifu is currently playing the J-pop, so sour please in the chat. The reason that happens is the white combo points up in the top left there are, those are called kudos, and if you hit 1,000 of those, my waifu plays J-pop, and that's just a good time for everyone. Yeah, after the door section is pretty much just a bunch of gauntlet rooms that I can't skip, so... J-pop and please give your donations to No Kid Hungry so that I can fill the space. Because there's really not much going on in these rooms.
I mean, if you need more reasons to donate, you can donate for Robot Butterfly Waifu, always a good reason. Donating for the kids is also a fantastic reason. Donating to get into the drawings for the prizes is a good reason. And those get into those drawings, you have to have a $5 donation in by 11:59 p.m. Eastern tonight, which is a half an hour from now.
Do it. She's watching. She knows what you do with your money, and she's very ashamed. All right, that's all of the gauntlet rooms. We are sitting at a respectable 2,700 points. The points don't mean anything in any percent, but in speedrun mode, which is a category I will never be able to run, it has a few very important differences. One, your kudos go away if you get hit once instead of 3 times. You might think, what's the big deal about that? It also ties your kudos to a damage multiplier, which can go up to like 1,000%, which gets very silly in the late game. It's way harder to do, but way more rewarding to pull off, and I don't have the time in the day. Come on, fill up, thank you. The little refill of my EP there is done by just tapping down twice. It's real simple to do, until it's not. This is Puppet Man. He is a man who has a robot that he controls like a puppet. You can do a DM skip on him, but it's really weird to do because the robot has its own health bar, which can be depleted. He immediately repairs it, but if you kill it right before he drops to his phase 3, he can be stuck repairing it until you kill him. I did not do that this time, but I got close. He is actually not the last boss of this level either, because reasons. When you kill him, he says something to the effect of, "I am a puppet master, but I have one more puppet for you to fight." And the puppet is this big robot. It's just the robot from the first level, but stronger. It has its own DM now for reasons I will never fully be able to grasp. But that's okay. We're getting through it in short order. I am not handling this particularly well as far as resource management because I did end up using more Astrospheres than I really needed to against his phase 2. We're going to drop him into phase 3. He's going to be all like, "Arr, you've hurt me. Time for my DM. Time to run some code." He has a quick moment where he's vulnerable before he does that, so I hit him with a Crash Bolt. He's going to do this, which is very threatening. Look at him go. And he's going to come back. He's going to drop his shield again, and we're going to hit him with an Astrosphere, which goes through his shield, damages the shield, and damages him. Which means I really should have been saving that. One Crash Bolt, and he's dead. We have a run. This is not a good run. That's all right. All right, so next is Garden 3, which is both boss refights and the final 2 bosses. There is no other part of the level. The 4 bosses that we do fight are the first 4 bosses that we fought in the main levels. We don't fight Hair Lady and Puppet Man again, or the worst one, thank God. Instead, we fight Tenjon, Bullet Lady, Hacker Man, and Water Boy with a twist. And hopefully, at the end of the Tenjon fight, I will be hitting level 13, at which point it will get even dumber. Alright, so first thing is it throws you in a Tenjon fight because he's more important for reasons. I don't know, play the game. Play these games, by the way. They're criminally underrated. I didn't even know that these existed until I went to PAX South at the start of 2020, you know, 8 years ago. Yeah, you know. You know what I'm talking about. Oh my god, just there we go.
I do know what you're talking about, and we also have another donation. We got a $10 donation from the Orange Hatter, donating
there
for
he is.
Butterfly Waifu. And also Keaton, I guess. Crush the run, my dude. Also, save them animals.
Yay. Alright. I'm gonna take a quick drink. TGE, let me know if anything weird happens, okay?
You mean aside from all the bad jokes I'm making?
Ah, that was refreshing. Dude! What the heck? You were supposed to warn me! I'm just kidding, that was supposed to happen.
I was? I'm sorry, I was checking for donation.
No, it's cool, that was supposed to happen. There's a scripted revive there if we get hit by a second DM, which he just has. He doesn't have that in Copen's run for, I don't know. So I do have that buff from the intro level, which means I have infinite EP and more. Actually, did I actually? Hold on. I think I need to equip something. I think I forgot something. Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, this is very unfortunate. I was trying to do a bit and I missed something very important. Okay, this is a problem. Ah, we are speedrunning. So what was supposed to happen is we were supposed to get a new ability called Luxcalibur. Luxcalibur costs 2 batteries and is very, very strong, which we are going to use to absolutely decimate Blood Lady here. We don't have that right now, which is a problem. We'll play it through. We just have to do her phase 3 normally, and I guess I'll show off Luxcalibur later. Fine, I guess. We'll use Astrosphere to make up the difference. It's not at all making up the difference, but I'm doing my best. Thankfully, her draining all my EP in one shot is not nearly as detrimental when I have infinite EP. Ow. All I have to do is not die. Alright, once this attack is done, she's going to die. There we go. Okay. I am a little upset with myself. There's the level. That's right. You live and you learn, you give and you take, you marathon and you goof it up. Alright, so we're gonna equip that, but we're not gonna use it because that's not how the routing works. I still technically use the 2 batteries that I would have used on the Luxcalibur on her first couple phases. The entire point is that we're supposed to let those batteries charge back up while we're fighting this schmuck again, who is just as much of a cakewalk as he was before. There we go. Except this time it's even easier because we have Crash Bolt and can just also float here infinitely. Oh yeah, her buff also gives you infinite air dashes and infinite air jumps. I forgot to mention that detail. It's kind of important. That's how we're able to just sit here for so long. It's also gonna let me constantly shoot at this boy while he spins his very fancy tech around doing ultimately nothing. And that's it. That's Teseo refight. Next is Waterboy, and we're actually going to do the DM right this time, if I'm not a complete dingus. At least that's the dream. Also, in case it wasn't already obvious, the J-pop has started again. Jam out, everybody!
Or donate. Donate works too.
You know what? Donate with a comment that you're currently jamming out right now. Oh my god, turn the right way, Gunvolt, please. So we actually save an Astrus here, like a smart boy. So what's supposed to happen is that you get your tags, you Astrophere as he's in the air and coming down. Mash out the damage as much as possible. And then once he jumps, we Crash Bolt, and he's dead. That's how that's supposed to go. And more importantly, we just use one battery, so we currently have 2 batteries, and we're gonna use those 2 batteries to great effect in Zonda 1. The final boss's name is Zonda. Fun thing about them, I haven't mentioned them at all, because there's a lot to talk about. But first of all, I make no comments about their wardrobe. Second of all, Zonda was one of the guys in Gunvolt 1. They were one of the like the mooks. Except in their level, where you're supposed to, you know, fight them, you get to the end of the level, and then Copen, the other character, walks up and kills them. And then you fight Copen instead. So this guy was a complete throwaway, and now in this game they're the big bad evil. So that I just want that to go to everyone to show that even you can accomplish your dreams. Anyway, this fight is now effectively over because they're about to go up in the middle of the room and float, except what are they about to do? Who knows? They're dead now. Crunch. Except that was only an illusion! We're about to fight the real Zonda coming up here. Are they a man? Are they a woman? They are neither. They are a small girl who is about to turn into a very large monster. There's the small girl, there's the monster. Happy Valentine's Day. Alright, so phase 1 is nothing to write home about. It's mostly just card throwing. And mostly her floating up in the air, making it very hard for me to shoot her. You know, like a good final boss. Alright. So, second phase, they're going to start actually throwing stuff at us. Namely, this, first of all, this yellow phase, where they throw up a shield, which I shall now Crash Bolt and deal damage to her. Then some more card throwing. And then, something else. Ah, blue. Blue means swords from the ceiling. Alright, so we're gonna Crash Bolt to cut into her health bar, and then she's about to do her DM, which I cannot influence, speed up, or skip in any way. So, we just get to sit through this now. Yep, she summons all of the dudes back to do a thing. Alright. Where is she? She's back. And that is time. Ah. Well, I have completely botched the timer. That's alright, though. It was 48:03, I want to say, which is not bad. Yeah. I'm just gonna... We're gonna say the time was 48:03, because that'll make me feel better. And that's Azure Striker Gunvolt 2! I hope everyone enjoyed the fun. I did come in way underestimate because I submitted this at a time where I was way less confident in my estimate. It's actually... Yeah, no. Okay, so... I need to collect my thoughts, good lord. The reason the ending is so abrupt is because that is technically the bad end. You beat the big bad, but your robot holographic butterfly waifu is dead. Copen's sister, who is involved in the story, is dead, and then Gunvolt and Copen are set to kill each other. The good ending is when you do both characters' campaigns, and then you go back to that, and then they have one more big fight, and then all the robot holographic butterfly waifus come together, and then they sing a song, and everything's better. Roughly. I did want to thank Get some music in here. Good lord. I would like to thank SpeedGaming for hosting me in this marathon. It is an absolute privilege to be able to go to these cool online events and run for a good cause, for charity, for No Kid Hungry. All of you are delightful and wonderful. TGE, thank you for putting up with me. Is there enough time to show something off real quick? This would take like 2 minutes. TG, are you there?
I'm gonna find out right. Do it.
Do it. All right. So, Gunvolt 2, you may not know this, has amiibo support. You might be wondering, oh, what kind of amiibo does this game support? It could be anything. Maybe it's a Mega Man. No, incorrect. It's Shovel Knight. We're gonna fight Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight?
Yeah, Shovel Knight's in this game. You didn't know?
Not what I was expecting.
I would have
But
put
I
this
can
up.
dig it.
Here's the thing. I would have put this up as a donation incentive, but one, at the time I didn't have the amiibo, and two, there's a bit of there's a small problem. There he is. It's Shovel Knight. Look at him. He's blue and he's got a shovel. And look at him. He's going nuts. He's doing shovel drop. And he's digging stuff. Look at him. He's going crazy. Here's the problem. That's all he does. Those are his 2 moves. I mean, I died, but like, that's it. That's the entire fight. He doesn't have a DM where he does some crazy anime shovel move. He doesn't like do anything else. He doesn't have any other mechanics or any other armors. He doesn't call his knight buddies in for help or anything. He's nothing. He just shovel drop and he digs stuff up. That's it. And I'm upset because I bought this stupid gold Shovel Knight just for this purpose, and that's 20 of my hard-earned dollars that I will never get back. I'm not actually that upset. But that's it. That's Azure Striker Gunvolt 2. Buy this game, you cowards, but only buy it with your remaining money after you donate to No Kid Hungry. It's a good cause.
It is. Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, I believe that is my time. That is all I have. I hope you have a lovely rest of your marathon. That was the Gunvolt block. Play these games, please. We need more runners. All right, send me away.